Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Eggman, and welcome back to Tier 8 heavy tanks for Clan Wars and Stronghold related shenanigans. Although not the preferred ones, because the IS-3 is a much better heavy tank in every single way and the T-32 has gun depression. The following two tanks, well, have bad accuracy or low alpha damage or no gun depression. So, Tier 8 heavy tanks from the not so well known variety. And we start off with the IS-5. Clan Wars reward tank, talked enough about it, see my previous videos. And if you're too lazy to see my previous videos, Tier 8 heavy tank makes money, IS-3A gun has 4 crew members, is an IS-8 hull. There we go. If you don't have this tank, will you ever be able to get it? No, it will never be up for sale and probably won't be a Clan Wars reward tank ever. But brushing all that aside, this is probably the best Tier 8 reward Wargaming has given for Clan Wars, because the other ones were the Chieftain T95, the 112 and the FCM50T, and this one is, well, slightly more original and is actually a good tank. It has 390 alpha, good turret, good hull armor, and it doesn't have a big fat squishy cupola on the top. 11,000 of the IS-5s were up for grabs in the Armageddon campaign, I think it was. 11,000. Yet only 7,988 people have played in this tank on the EU cluster. Which is weird, but not really, because there were clan licenses. If your clan did good, you got the tank for free, but there were personal licenses, so if you did good enough but your clan didn't and you had enough fame points, you could buy the tank for 11,000 or 12,000 gold. And I guess a lot of people didn't do that. It was sort of a way by Wargaming to let you put effort in and still buy the tank. A lot of people feel that it wasn't worth it and that Wargaming was just sucking money out of them. However, it gets worse. Wargaming gave the people that got the tank for free a different camo, a sort of sandy colored camo. And the people that didn't get the IS-5 for free were sort of marked to put their own camo on it. So you can see who were the plebs that had to buy the tank. I was one! And who were like in good clans. Interesting little fact. And because Wargaming noticed that the IS-5 was borderline overpowered, they decided we're never going to make such tanks ever again, not at least not Russian. And then they did. Lo and behold, the T-22 medium, which has been nerfed in 9.15, so that's a thing that happened. I haven't seen a lot of them anymore, especially not in tier tank Clan Wars or Strongholds. I've seen one of them and he didn't perform that well. I wonder why. And then there was the IS-3A, which is really similar to the IS-3 and the IS-5. It has the IS-3. Well, at least I say the IS-5 is the IS-3A gun, but the IS-5 came before the IS-3A, so technically the IS-3A has got the IS-5 gun. But the IS-3A fires fast and is more well known, so I usually talk about the IS-3A gun instead. But it was first on the IS-5, so suck it. But the differences between the two guns on the IS-3A and the IS-5 is the IS-3A has got a better rate of fire, but the IS-5 gun handling is marginally better with a 3-second aim time instead of 3.2 and slightly better dispersion values. And that's it. That's the only difference between the two tanks gun-wise. They've got a different hull and different turret, blah 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 blah, but that's not important when we're talking about guns. Speaking of guns, that shot on the Ferdinand was complete and utter bull plop. It should never hit, but Russian accuracy for the win. And RT's got my number as well, so now I'm a one-shot for basically everything in this game. And artillery killed my commander, so there goes my Brothers in Arms bonus, and the commander bonus, and my 6th sense, and my view range. Who needs to play with commander when you play a Russian tank? And this will show why the IS-5 was considered borderline OP. Just because it had 0.46 accuracy doesn't mean it misses. It hits. It just hits, and it hits hard with 390 alpha. Okay, consider this. You are given basically an IS-8 stock at tier 8. So you can see tier 6s. And tier 6s are not very good against an IS-8. I just noticed I've been saying IS-8 all this time. I mean T10. I lived in the era where the IS-8 ruled the world and people hated it instead of the T10 that people hate. Okay, fair enough. Tier 6s aren't good against the IS-3 either. But, you know, shh. And not only that, it isn't a slow tank like the IS-3A. The IS-5 got rather good horsepower per ton ratio, so you can go around the battlefield rather fast. Now look at this, there is a tier 6 heavy in front and a tier 7 medium behind. Keep an eye on the map, because that tier 7 medium can do a lot of scary things to our tanks. Our OI probably can't hit him. If he sidescrapes it, he's going to kill the artillery. The Ferdinand's too slow, and the super Pershing I don't know if he gets a shot in. Oh, what did I say? Who needs a commander when you play Russian tank? Roll for 414 and not fully aimed. Yet the shell flies completely straight into the tank. But it's all good, it's all gravy. We've basically got this game by the bollocks. The Jak Panther 2 cannot escape there. The T-34 2, well, he could be a threat, but I'm mostly scared about arty at this point. I'm getting scarily close to a top gun, so I don't want to die to artillery, and I'm really scared. Especially when this Panther comes around the corner and arty is spotted. I'm pretty sure arty is aiming for me now, but he doesn't. And I'm praying for this I-6, please kill him so I can survive. And he does. Now look at this, the T-34-2 survived. Why is that? The arty's dead, no idea where he's coming from. The Yak Panther bounces miraculously off my front, don't know how. Then I notice something, my spidey senses are going off. The T-34-2 has got nowhere to escape, instead of towards me. arty is dead, I can just sit here. All I have to do is to wait for this T-34-2 to come into my view, so I can put a big, fat, meaty Russian 122mm shell in his front. And that's the end of the T-34-2 friend. Now this Yak Panther is 1 versus 5, he's got nowhere else to go, he's got an I-6 in his back, and all he can do is rush me. And at this point I'm like, oh, please don't kill me, and instead, I roll incredibly high. And we are back with the 110, the Tier 8 Chinese heavy tank that is not Russian. So you won't see any amazing RNG, MLG shots from me or this tank ever. Maybe once in a blue moon. But don't expect it, because it just doesn't happen. And I am in a platoon with the one and only John Harmon and of course Reese, playing respectively in the TVP VTU and the AMX CDC. Now I am playing the 110 because I want the 113. Because the 113 is in a really good position at the moment. Big ass gun, big ass DPM, good armor, a little bit thin but highly sloped, and fast. And I love 440 alpha guns for some reason. Ever since the IS-8, you know, T10, I loved 440 alpha guns, but I haven't played many 440 alpha guns. So maybe the 130 will be a disappointment for me, and I might hate it, but I don't think that will happen because it has 5 degrees of gun depression now. It is actually a good tank. You won't see me playing the 121 anytime soon because 3.5 degrees of gun depression make baby Jesus cry. Now before I continue talking about other stuff, I want to ask you guys a question. You know how I do these little intros, just like today it was actually on this map, the artillery driving into the Super Pershing. But do you want me to continue using them as a short intro, or should I turn them into a compilation video like every other YouTuber does? For example, Jingles, Sir Havoc, and other random assorted World of Tanks YouTubers. Because I want to stay a bit different. I don't want to make a YouTube video that is really popular and has random stuff happening in it, and then have my regular videos, because I don't know if I will have something funny in stock, because I sometimes have to make it funny. I have to use editing, I have to use music, I have to use voices. This is a random factor in YouTubing. I don't know if I will have material to work with. I mean, I will have games to work with, but not something funny in front. So I want to know, should I make a compilation video out of funny bits that might come out every 2-3 months, because I don't know if I will have enough footage to make a video out of, or just an intro that might be funny before a video? If you think it's funny, at least I like to think so.
Please tell me it's funny. Self-esteem issues.
And yes, you saw it correct. We just saw 2 Tier 8 heavies and a Conqueror and another 110 flanking around 2 Tier 10s and a Tier 9. Now that is teamwork. Also, a new World of Tanks game mode has been announced. A World of Tanks football game mode that is going to, you know, happen in conjunction with the new World Cup that's going to happen in France the 10th of June. Now on day of recording I don't have a lot of information about it because it had just been announced. Today's Monday. But apparently this year there's a bit of a difference. You can play randoms, I think, in the just football mode, play with a few friends, but there's also a tournament mode. Now I don't know what the prizes are, I don't know what the teams are. I assume 3v3 with T62As just like last time, 4 years ago. But I don't know if this is a good idea. You know, it's good that they're bringing attention to it. They want people to actually play it instead of play 3 games with friends and then never touch it again with a 10-foot pole. But to make people actually play it in the tournament, unless the prize is really good, I don't see a lot of people doing this. But by the time this video releases, there's probably a lot more information about it. And if it will be good or not, meh. So, yes and no, maybe so, I don't know. I will see in the future. And there's another thing that will happen soon. Today, if you're watching this, it's the 2nd of June. For me, it's the 30th of May, but that's not important. In June is Tankfest, and I'm going to Tankfest. I'm going to Tankfest with Peppy, M4Real, and some bloke called Will. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to Tankfest and I'm really excited for it because last year was an absolute blast and this year apparently more people are going to come along that actually want to meet me, which scares me a bit. But there's another question I have for you guys. The first question was intro and funny bits and hue. The second thing is, should I do, or at least try to do a vlog of Tankfest? Seeing as QB didn't do one last year, maybe we can try and merge the two. I don't know if he's okay with this. This is just throwing things out there. But make a vlog from my perspective, his perspective, and for real's nose. Who knows? His nose. Noses! Noses! Yay! Now, if you guys want me to do a vlog, there's a few things you guys have to remember. I'm not a vlogger. I've never vlogged. I don't know how to vlog. I don't even have a camera to do a vlog with. So if I do a vlog, it's probably with my phone. So don't expect any fin-stabilized 1080p high-quality vlogging action, because it's just me running around with my phone, stabbing in at people's faces and tanks. Now here's a learning moment in this replay. I was really indecisive of where I was going. I wanted to help Reese on the 9-8 line, then I turned back to help Reese in the middle. John got killed by the Borsig, which prompted me to turn back to the 9-8 road, because I could flank that Borsig with Reese's help. Then I see that the Borsig dies, and there's a low in the middle, so I go back again. These kind of plays can lose you games. If you're really indecisive, you're not helping your team, you're just driving around like a fat power donkey, and then you cannot help your team. You're just basically deciding what you're going to do next, while your team is dying around you. But going back to the Tankfest story, we've talked enough about this game already. Like I said, I'm not a vlogger. I don't know what to film or not to film. So what I'll probably do is 15 minutes of just tank footage and 3 hours of me and M4Real sitting in traffic jams on our way to Bovington. Because apparently the M25 and the M3 towards Southampton are terrible. Actually, not even apparently. Last year, M4 and I arrived on a Friday, and all we had to do was drive from Heathrow to Bovington. It took us about 2.5 to almost 3 hours, because more than half of that time we spent stuck in traffic jams. First-hand experience can tell me we had to go on a Thursday, yet we're going at the same time. So I expect this journey to still take about 2.5 hours. So you will get 2 hours of just us sitting in a traffic jam watching the car in front of us, and then 5 seconds of tank footage and maybe an airplane flying over, because they've got something planned for that as well. So slap your answer in the comment section if you want me to do a Tankfest vlog. Tell me if you want me to do the intros like I do them now, or make a long video, which I don't really want to do, but anyway. Tell me that as well. There, I've achieved something today. Comment section interaction. Yay! Oh, speaking of Tankfest, last year they gave away free codes for premium tanks. I think it was the tier 5 Chino Kai. If I can get my hands on one of those codes, I'll probably give it away on this channel. So what channel? So watch out for that. And if any of you are going to Tankfest, don't be scared to say hello to me. I will be there with my own face. So yeah, just walk up to me. I'll probably wear a t-shirt, or I'm close to Quickie Baby. I am the brown guy next to Quickie Baby. There, hints are given. Now this is quite an awkward moment. I am completely sandwiched between, well, at this point a dead Borsig and an alive Borsig. And I'm dead now. Because I found myself in a terrible position. I got spotted out in the open between two big fat guns. And I paid for it with my life. And I'm dead. This game is probably a win, because we still have a TVPT 5051 somewhere in cap. And Reese is going to definitely fire high explosive if he can get up this ridge. Which he can, luckily. The CDC's got amazing power to weight ratio, and ate that hill as if it was a cornflake. And Reese finds the Borsig, high explosive shell into his gun shield, 321 damage, absolutely delicious. Borsig is a one-shot, this game is basically a win. But it's kinda sad, I found myself in such a bad position. Reese gets slapped by an AP shell, but he takes his time and finishes off this game, showing you that tier 8s can carry a tier 10 game.